Hello there, Libras. Thank you so much for checking out my channel. My name is Johnny Alchemy from johnnyalchemytarot.com, and welcome to your February 2021 Tarot Forecast reading. I hope the month of January treated you well and you had a great start to the new year. So let's look into the month of February and see what messages that the cards may have for you. This is going to be a general reading, so some messages may apply. Take that as your guidance and insight from the universe. Anything else that does not resonate is probably a message meant for someone else. So thank you so much for your openness and understanding. I really greatly appreciate it. And so let's look into the cards and see what they have to say for you for the month of February 2021. Okay. Okay. This all organized and ready, and then we have two right out here. Okay. So here, right at the center of your reading, we have the Emperor card reversed, Major Arcana here. So here, Emperor card, talking about that masculine energy that's within all of us. But in the reversed, it's saying, if you felt like you've lost control over something in your life, or that maybe you had no control over a certain situation in your life where something might have changed, and you didn't have the power to change it, or you didn't have the power to maintain it, or you felt like maybe you didn't have a say in it whatsoever. So there's something here that says to me with this Emperor card that there could have been some type of change, and I'm going to go into some of these other cards that I see that could be that. But you could have felt like that you felt disempowered in some type of way, or didn't have control over a certain situation. Right next to this Emperor card, we also have the Lover's card reversed. So this could be a relationship. It doesn't have to always be romantic, but it could be with anything. It could be something with work. It could be something, someone you want to collaborate with creatively. Could be with a family member or a friend. There could be some situation that might have changed, that you felt like you didn't have the power to, again, control or maintain the outcome of it. And so here it shows that the relationship may have suffered a little bit, that maybe you just didn't see eye to eye in certain ways, maybe that you could have done things, or the way that the two of you may have melded together in a certain way. But there shows there was some type of inequality in there, that there was opportunities for you to really get on the same page with this, because maybe there was a little bit of lack of understanding of where both of you were coming from. I also see here we have the Seven of Pentacles. So again, this could be something work-related. Pentacles, talking about earth energy and the material plane. So with the Seven of Pentacles here, if this is something with, let's say, a job or whatever, it shows that maybe after putting in so much work of some kind, you didn't feel like you were getting the returns that you maybe expected, or that you would have wanted from how much you've put in. So maybe that could have been something where in that relationship, you could have not seen eye to eye with after doing so much and having a certain outcome. Maybe that person thought that you maybe were not doing enough, or maybe you could have felt like maybe this is not the right job for me, or whatever it is, or whatever opportunity that is. But this also could apply to the romantic or platonic relationships that we have in life. You could invest so much into a boyfriend or girlfriend, or even just a friend or a family member, invest so much of your time and energy into them, and then it just may not be reciprocated. They may not show their type of love that they know how to show and to you, and you may not feel it or receive it in the way that you would have wanted. So again, there's that opportunity for communication to understand that this is how I receive love, this is how they show love, and so how can I decipher all of that communication in between, so that I can understand them better and ultimately make the relationship better. But again, this is in the reverse, so this is telling me that there's a little inequality here, maybe in both parties, how there could have been an investment of some kind, energetically, time-wise, whatever it could be. But both parties may feel like they were not getting the results that they wanted. So that's ultimately a conversation that needs to be had in terms of any relationship, so that understanding can be cultivated, so that you can find solutions and not just internalize and be separate and think of things as problems. So there's something here in terms of, if this does resonate with you, really trying to regain a sense of power or control from a past relationship, whether it be through work, friends, or romantic. because you felt like possibly what you put in was not what you were getting out of that exchange of whatever it was, whether it be energetic, love, or just platonic. And so ultimately, underneath that that Emperor card reversed, we have the Death card. And death, don't be scared, is not physical death, but probably this relationship maybe ended in a certain way. If it's something romantic, you guys broke up. Maybe if it was platonic, maybe you guys had to separate and give each other some space. If it was something work-related, maybe you had to leave that job and find a new opportunity that would give you the results that you wanted, or give you whatever it is that you wanted, maybe monetarily, maybe in terms of fulfillment or satisfaction, whatever it is. But in terms of death, it's saying that something ended ultimately so that you can transform your reality into something new. And again, the Death card, I've been getting the Tower card recently for a lot of these readings and personal ones, but the Death card very much is like that, is very similar to that message that, death or change, that's what it really means. Change comes in all forms, and it comes for all of us. The only constant in life is this change, which is a paradox, so how can something be constant, be always changing? But that's what life is. That's what life is. Change is something we can all share and relate on. So change is something that is going to happen in our life. And so we have to go with the flow. We have to go through that change, however uncomfortable it is, however difficult or challenging it may be, whether it be leaving a romantic relationship, having to give space with friends, or even leaving a job, whatever it is, leaving an opportunity of some kind. But ultimately, it is for our better good. Because if we held on to those things that made us unhappy or caused negativity or discomfort in our life, that is something we have to take responsibility for because we allowed it. We have to hold ourselves accountable to some sense. And we also have the power. Again, talking about power with this Emperor card reversed is about owning your power once more and saying, okay, well, this is gone from my life, or this is something that I don't want to continue having in my life anymore. So I have the power to change the situation if I truly feel disempowered and unhappy with it, if I feel like I'm not getting as much as I'm giving. So there's something that I can see here in terms of something to take into consideration, in terms of to put in your mental or self-awareness here. The fact that if this is something that, let's say that you've been mulling over, this could be something for you to consider. And if this is something actually that happened in the recent past, understand that this is something that needed to happen. This Death card is saying that you need this type of transformation so that new day in that background here, that sun coming up on the horizon, a new day will dawn for you. It will just take some time to get used to it. And so let's see, underneath that Lovers card, we also have the Knight of Swords right here, Knight of Swords. So here, Libras, that air sign, you are this suit of swords, you are the element of air. So this could be referring to you in a certain sense in the reverse. It's being right underneath this Lovers card, it's telling me that if you were this proactive type of person to answer to this relationship, to be there for that person, to make sure that you were doing the job correctly, that you were always communicating, etc., etc., etc. But it didn't work out. It almost puts like the brakes on this knight's mission, if you will. And this is telling me that maybe ultimately that this is something that did end in your recent past. So this is telling me that it kind of put that stop here. I can almost see with this imagery, with the Death card and this suit of swords, they're both riding this white horse of power, and they both have the same type of armor. But the minute that this relationship ended and you had to put a stop to your actions and lose that mission, you became this Death card, where you have to go through this transformation of leaving something old behind so that you can transform into something new. So again, this Knight of Swords, that's talking about that air energy of all the air signs, Libra, Aquarius, or Gemini. So this could be something with a person, that relationship you could have been with. It could have been also talking about you in terms of how the role you played in that relationship, being the one to be proactive and to answer and to communicate. But now that relationship, whether it be again platonic, romantic, or job-wise, now that is no longer there, you have to go through this kind of slower period and to understand the lessons learned from it and to move on and ultimately transform into something new. We also have underneath the Seven of Pentacles, we have the Nine of Pentacles reversed here. So again, if you haven't been receiving the results from that relationship, this is this is further nailing into that point, the fact that you give, but you don't receive, and it puts in your head, ultimately, is this worth it? I'm not able to enjoy the rewards that I should be enjoying because I put so much time and effort into this relationship. If this is a job, I mean, seeing two pentacles here, if this is with a job or some type of collaborative type of thing with someone, if you are not getting the fulfillment factor of this, if you just feel like you're just putting in so much and you are not receiving the rewards or being able to really enjoy the rewards of your work, that's something to take into consideration, because it could just be overextending yourself. It could be overextending your energy. Same exact thing could be applied to any type of platonic or romantic relationship as well. If you feel like you're always trying, but they are not meeting you halfway, and you can't enjoy the relationship or enjoy the efforts that you put in anymore, and it's always being met with resistance or with just dead silence of some kind, then that's a sign that this may not be healthy for you, and you may have to let it go as well. So here, there's ultimately something telling me that there's a certain loss or change in a relationship of some kind, but this is going to teach you how to gain back your power, to take back your power, and to hold yourself accountable for your life, where you can say, okay, this didn't work out, or I don't want this anymore in my life, so now it's time for me to gain back my power, gain back that seat of control in my life, to take hold of the reins once more, and to give myself that structure of what it is that I truly want, to make that routine or of what it is that I truly want to manifest in my life. So here, ultimately, there's a certain transformation type of energy going on with that Death card, and ultimately is for your better good, to release all those things that ultimately may not be healthy for you, and things that, you're not getting the rewards that you truly deserve in your life, to allow, again, for something else to come in that can take its place, something probably more healthy or positive for you down the road. So let's move on. Let's look into some oracle cards and see what they may have to say for you. Let's see. Okay, first one that stuck out to me here, Loyal Heart, right here. And again, seeing that Lover's card reversed right here, it's, talking about possible love. Loyal Heart, where do your loyalties lie? This is saying that, okay, if you were in that relationship, whatever it was, you could have been very loyal to that relationship, to, again, with that Knight of Swords, to answer to it, to be communicative, to be proactive, to make that your mission, to make sure that it was successful. But when it was starting to not give you the things that you truly felt like you deserved, your loyalties have to shift. You have to shift back to your own heart. You have to start to be loyal to yourself if you feel like you're not getting the receptiveness that you feel like you receive, that you deserve, that you deserve in your life. So Loyal Heart, this is saying that there could be a shift in loyalty of what you feel is right, of what you feel like you need. So again, this is going to ultimately be an empowering process for you, to give yourself that sense of power, to understand that you have choice in your destiny and choice in your life to forge the path that you want. And to ultimately let go of the things that you don't want and the things that do not serve you anymore, to find loyalty again in yourself. Other card we have here, we also have Community. So the community, talking about people who are there for you. If you have gone through this loss of relationship, especially if it is something romantic and platonic, more on that emotional level, understand you're not alone just because that didn't work out, or that you need that space away from that person. You have other relationships that can help you and take care of you and love you during that process when you are separated or going to a new single route, if you will. So you have community, you have a circle of friends, you have family members, you have all these people at your disposal to give you love. It may not be the romantic or platonic love that can emulate, the thing that person gave you, but it's still love. It's still something that can give you happiness and joy and a sense of connectedness, and that you are not alone going through a process of some kind. And ultimately, this could give you that, those feelings that person or relationship didn't give you. It could have given you, that sense of you're appreciated, that you're acknowledged, that what you did was for the best of the relationship, and that even though that person could not accept or appreciate that, that it does not mean that you were a failure. You did everything you could. It's more on that other person for not responding or being receptive to that. So this is something that community can be that mirror for you, to give you a new perspective, a third-party perspective into that situation that didn't work out, and to ultimately build you up and make you feel loved in a different type of way, but yet it's still love. So let's move on to the last card, word of wisdom or power, light. I love this, light. So this is a certain light work, if you will. There's light work, there's shadow work. Death card they always say is shadow work, but shadow work is also light work. A lot of people don't understand that. Some people may think shadow work as something evil or something negative, but it's dealing with the darkness. It's dealing with the negativity. It's shining a light on the darker parts of our life, and ultimately, it's unpacking all of that, letting all that baggage go, making sense of it, taking all the lessons from that negativity so that you can incorporate that into the bigger, complete sense of your life, to take that into your consciousness, to take those lessons, and ultimately that is light work. So here there's light in this through any type of challenges that you're going through. If it was a loss of a relationship of some kind, especially, or you're feeling disempowered in a certain way, this light work ultimately is here to empower you, to help you remember your power, to remember your divine ability to create your reality, to create your situations. So this light work, it's most powerful, I always believe, being a Scorpio and the death card, that is Scorpio card here, and throughout my own experiences, but the biggest light work that I see is from the shadow work, because it is the most impactful and most profound, to turn something negative into something that empowers you, something that is positive, something that gives you a true lesson of the greater picture of life. So here, ultimately, there is a big transition here, seeing this death card especially, from a situation that didn't work out in the past, again, romantic, platonic, or work-related. Ultimately, you will realize that they don't deserve you, ultimately, that you've put in enough work, seeing the 7 and 9 of Pentacles. You've put in a lot. You've given a lot of yourself, but now it may be time for you to realize that if you're not getting the results or outcome or receptiveness that you want, that you deserve, then it's time to let that person go, because ultimately they are trying to they're trying to have all the power in that relationship, to take away the power from you, to control how you feel, and ultimately you have to release yourself from that, to let it go, and understand that you need to remember your own power. You need to practice your own ability of choice to say, no, I'm not going to put myself through this. I don't deserve this. And I'm going to find an opportunity where I can feel appreciated and loved and acknowledged, and ultimately feel much better about myself. And that is the transformation process here of that death card. So ultimately, I think this is a very, very kind of deep, profound type of reading to make the best out of a situation that may have not worked out. Ultimately, it is for your better with this light work. And ultimately, it is going to help you shift that loyalty to yourself back into your center, and make you realize that you have more than just this relationship in your life. You have a lot of people in your community, in your social circles, family, that can love you just the same. So let's pull one more card. I want to do one more card. A message from your highest self, some advice. Empress. I love this. And again, you had the Emperor reversed here. So it's kind of saying, there's a balance here between this masculine and feminine energy. The Emperor and Empress, again, talking about a relationship again as well. That they are together, the Emperor and Empress. They're king and queen for each other. So again, if there is something in this relationship that was not equal, you have to embody this Empress energy, where you have to take care of yourself, or you have to take time to, another reading talked about self-care too. Self-care is always a thing when these cards come up, but it's about, again, shifting the loyalty to you, to making yourself the focus once more. Because again, if you're not getting back the things that you feel like you're putting in, then the scales are tipped in a very imbalanced, in an unequal type of way. So the only way to do that is to counteract that by focusing the energy back onto you and understanding, okay, is this healthy for me? Should I be in this relationship? And you can give yourself the time to make the correct decision. So again, that this is ultimately what your highest self may be saying to you, is that you've done enough trying to make something happen, to put your energy and your willpower, your action, your passion into making something happen. And if it's not working out, if it is disempowering you, it's time to turn that energy back in and to stop doing, but just start being and realizing and remembering who you are and the power that you have in your life. So again, there's a big lesson to be learned here, and there's a big understanding to be learned in terms of your power of choice, and that is ultimately your power of creation in life, and that you will ultimately, if this does resonate with you, to transform into that, to step into that power once more, and to leave old relationships that do not serve you or give you the results that you want. So I hope this reading did resonate with you, Libra. I think this is a very positive reading overall. It could lead to a lot of great things in your life, and I hope it did resonate on a few levels, if not most. So I just want to say thank you so much for allowing me to read your cards. I very, very, very much appreciate it. And so if you did like this video, don't forget to shoot me a like. Also, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't, excuse me. And also, don't forget to click that notification bell to stay in touch for future videos. So I just want to say thank you once more, and I will see you next time. Thanks so much, Libras. Goodbye.